all I can do is just tell you about the kids' resolve on the sidelines. Never believing that they were going to lose. They just kept it up the whole time there. You know, we used up all our timeouts. Defense got to stop. Offense, Malik had a pretty tough day up until that big catch there, and the win, and everybody, we tried 3 different routes with Gmo down there, figuring one of them's going to work, and he was a tough guy to follow out there. Really, we really thought he can get himself open, but we lost Josh early, and a lot of the game plan went out the window because we were going to use a lot of the 2 backs deal, and we lose him. Defensively was outstanding, unbelievable. I think he only threw for 105 yards. I think he was 10 of 31. Just defensively, just played lights out. Offensively, we had a lot of yards, but we just, we didn't do real well. Okay, early. We should have had 10 points right off the bat there or more, and but yeah, I'm not stunned because of our type of kids we got. But boy, I'm sure proud of those kids, and I'm just happy to be here.
Bill, can you go back to that confusion regarding the down and distance? And what did you think it was on
third down?
I thought it was third down. Third and.
It was third. It was third down, and then they spot the ball, and there was a couple times there was some confusion out there with, but we got the intercept, and then all of a sudden we lost. I think Kent figured it out like 11 yards. I mean, that's just a couple of times you looked over and the down marker was a little bit different.
So not just on that.
Yeah, I didn't say anything, did I?
Coach, where does this rank for you all time amongst wins, personally?
Personally?
Yeah, personally.
Might be the best. This team has faced so much adversity. And you go back, it's so long. And what I like about it is, guys, we have that Illini spirit up there, and I talk about that all the time. I don't like a lot of different slogans. I don't like, where kids here, kids there, kids over there. I mean, that's not me. That's what we live by, that Illini spirit, and that's all we live by. And so today, before we went out there, I talked to them about visualizing success. Close your eyes, okay? Envision what it's going to be like with 0-0-0 on the clock. And when you walk off that field and that band's playing and those fans are cheering you on, and it's unbelievable. That's what happened. We talk about performing in a moment. Well, who was in that moment? Malik making that big play, West making some unbelievable throws. Gmo making those plays. So you performed in a moment. I try to keep it simple. There's 16 up there, and that's all we go by. Fail fast, move on. You could have Taylor. Taylor missed 2 field goals. Goes up in there. And now you got to hit that extra point to win it. And so he did. And there are the things that to me is making it. And what happens is in 5 short weeks, our kids have adapted and changed their attitude that quickly. You got to give these kids some credit. I mean, it's just, when you lose one of your best players, we already had two wide receivers, are really good players. They're not even playing, and you just keep fighting and fighting and fighting, and just keep grinding. And when you hear stuff on the sidelines, the welcome pressure thing, we talk a lot about that. You hear it on the sidelines. You know that your message is getting through. And that's the gratification you have really as a head coach.
Bill, what does a win like this, and everyone always says you have to learn to win. What does a win like this do for a team like yours over a team like Nebraska?
Well, it's been like this, since I've been here, and I know it's been here, a couple of years before, where everybody, your signature win, so-called signature win, and, and when you don't do it, everybody deflates and everybody thinks that the sky is falling, I think the Illini family out there, Illini fans, okay, the students, our kids, now see what hard work and grinding, what you can do if you just keep playing as a team. And so, the fans, I mean, the fans are as big part of this win as anybody else. I mean, to see the enthusiasm they had, they stuck around, they were enthusiastic. We make that big play and the place goes nuts. I mean, our kids feed off of that, and that's my whole goal, is to go out there, right, and get that. I'll do as much as I can. I can't play, but I want to go out and get people in those stands, so that everybody feels good about the orange and blue. Tonight, guess what? I mean, there's people that are feeling good about the orange and blue, and they should, because of the resolve of our players.
How surprised were you that they threw the ball there and then they didn't attempt the field goal there late in the fourth quarter?
Well, the wind's really bad. It was about as bad as I've seen it. I thought their punter did a heck of a job, but when that thing, I thought the other key part, all right, not patting anyone on that, but at the third quarter, when there was about 2:21, I think it was, and we said, you know what, we got to get a first down, but we're going to milk the clock. And so milk it, and we're behind 13-0, so we're behind, and I didn't care. We needed the win. And I think the other big key was really they took the win in the third quarter. I think they were looking for the knockout punch, rightfully so, and they didn't knock us out. And so now we got the win in the fourth quarter. But at that point there, that big third down where Wes threw it to Des King, that way we didn't have to punt into the win, and it flipped. Right then, I felt really good about what was going to happen.
Bill, in the final minute, when you're out of timeouts, what went through your mind when they put it in the air instead of running the ball and run clock? You put it in your best player's hands, Armstrong, and we got a little bit, we lucked out on the fourth one, fourth down, it wouldn't have made a difference, right?
Because the clock starts the one before that, but they probably thought they had the knockout punch again, and kids just refused to get beat.
After you got the ball back there, Wes's long pass, could you just talk about the route and what was called, what was intended there?
Yeah, it was, Ryan did a good job up top, and thought the safety was playing down just a little bit lower, and then we just, pleaded, begged, whatever else you want to call it. Malik, you got one shot at this big guy. You got to go make the play, and he did. And so, Malik is feeling pretty good about himself. But what a great throw by Wes, and and then we got ourselves down there. I'm glad he didn't score. As it looks back now, they would have more time. But Malik just, he wasn't playing real well, but he got it when it counted. And that's the sidelines. I mean, if you watch the sidelines, our kids are, they were fired up. They didn't give up. I mean, they were fighting all the way through. And you really got to tip your hats to those kids.
What gave you confidence that Malik could come through with that play?
I just believe in kids. I believe in these kids. I've seen what they've done for the last 5-6 weeks. It's just like the fourth down call down there. I just believe in them. Sometimes it doesn't work out. A lot of times it does. But those kids know in there that I'm there for them every single time. And it's just like going out in the quad. Every time I come back from third, hey coach, you're on the quad, huh? They weren't on the quad, but they're on Twitter, and they appreciate your efforts. And I think they appreciate the fans. I think they appreciate the student body and the administration. And they'll feed off of that.
The most exciting part, obviously, was the last drive. But really, to keep this game was the defense.
There was no doubt.
Your thoughts on how they played today.
Defense was unbelievable. We really think, this is the first time that I think I've been here, the defensive line looks like a Big Ten defensive line. I mean, we're playing pretty well up front there. I think our linebackers are doing a good job there. But our secondary, when you look at, they tested us, and some good things happened, but we covered pretty well down. The kid was 10 of 31, and he's the leading passer in the Big Ten. So well, there's no doubt. If we don't have the defense, I mean, we're not going to sit here talking like we are now.
What were some of the specific things you saw coming in that you thought you could do to stuff Nebraska's offense like that, and some things that evolved as the game went on that you can switch to?
I just think, the plan is fairly simple. I think what you got to do is teach our kids. My biggest, and Timmy's and but get a hat in every gap and be strong in holding that gap. And before, I think what's happened, we weren't big enough or strong enough, and we're getting knocked out of gaps. Now we're holding the gaps, and make guys bounce. I mean, there's some guys in there like with Chunky and Bain and Jihad and Schmoody and there's a couple other guys who played in there. They're just strong. And I think it's a lot simpler, and they understand the defense.
Coach Gimo was one of the last guys off the field, and when you greeted him there coming off the field, what was that interchange like?
He told me how blessed we both were. I told him I loved him, and he told me he loved me back, and that's all really. We throw love around a lot with these kids. There's a lot of times I think kids are, haven't heard that word as much, and I just want to let them know that I'm in there the whole time with them, and I love every one of them. And, we'll be kind of tough on them, but they all know we're in their corner, and he knows that. He's come a long way.
Time for the last question before we get our players. Is it likely Josh will miss some time, or still need further evaluation?
Probably more evaluation. I'm not sure. When you're coaching, really, when something like that happens, it's like you just move on, and you worry about So I'll go back in there and I'll go see him and see how he's doing.
One more,
Before you go, your division of the Big Ten is sideways, upside down, whatever you want to call it. Minnesota also lost, Wisconsin lost, and literally every team in the division is struggling to some degree on offense. In light of all that kind of chaos within the division, what do you want people thinking about your team, in that context?
I told our guys what I want is when I walk over on the other side, I want that coach to say, your guys played hard. And if you play hard, you give yourself a chance. And, we're going to make mistakes. There's no doubt. I mean, these are young men, but as long as they play hard, you give yourself a fighting chance. And, I watched a couple of those games too. And, you're sitting there and, okay, if we just keep on plugging along, we give ourselves a chance. I think in the last couple of years, to be honest with you, it's probably been pretty hard, at times. But I think our kids finally, when you tell them they're good, and you go about your business the way these kids are going, we got a shot. I mean, that's all you ask for. Now we got big. All this really means is we're 1-0. But it's the first time 1-0, and I know since I've been here. And I think, we'll let. I know Lauren. He interviewed Ray Grains the last time he beat Nebraska. So. Sorry, Lauren. She was planning on that all night long.
I did interview him, but I just missed that game.
You just missed that game. Okay. All right. That was like the first 5 years on the job at the Gazette. Hey, guys, thank you. Okay, and if you could just put a little plug in about those fans and the students, I'd appreciate it because they were something else. Thank you.
All right, we have players. We'll spread out around.